Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Brooklyn History. This series celebrates the publication of this landmark anthology, Latino Poetry, the Library of America Anthology. And tonight is dedicated to exploring the poets whose work has shaped today's thriving Latino poetic tradition.
I was looking at this really beautiful anthology, and I've always questioned what is Latino poetry. In my own work, how much of my Latino-ness is in my poetry. Today we're addressing that definition, that distinction around Latino poets in New York City specifically, referencing an enduring legacy of migration and exile. Identity is a precursor to inspiration. Loss, movement, discovery. Finding self allows other selves to emerge when life is in constant flux, between territories, between identities. The multiplicity of the city presents a body to come back to for voices that feel outside belonging. Lorna de Cervantes writes, "These bullets bury deeper than logic. Racism is not intellectual. I cannot reason these scars away. Outside my door, there is a real enemy who hates me." Bringing us out of island splendor into urban conflict. To speak not from trauma of misunderstood identity, but affection for multi-identity. In other words, I am not what you expect, I am more.
Thanks to Library of America and to Rigoberto for this incredible anthology. I mean, maybe start there, thinking also of Library of America, like this is one of the most prestigious, right, but also one of the most canonical, as it were, presses, right? And so on the one hand, we could say, wow, Latinos now have a Library of America anthology. How fantastic, right? But what does it mean to be of America, right? And I think even just of US America, beyond, right, the hemispheric Americas. And so that's a question that I think I was talking to Laura about. And maybe one way to frame that, right, is in terms of what is, right, Latinidad, right? And Latinidad is a kind of, it's not even an ethnicity, it's a pan-ethnic formation, right? Rooted in a kind of imperial history.
What's exciting about our research in the field, the work that we do, I'm also part of the Recovering the U.S. Hispanic Literary Heritage Project, is that this field is so exciting because it's constantly changing. And I mean, it was so emotional to read this and see Lourdes Casal. Lourdes Casal's archive is kind of scattered to the winds. I had to reconceptualize my understanding of the United States. Thank you for mentioning empire. I mean, we can talk about home, but we also have to think about displacement and the struggle for spaces. Part of also what I love about this event, thank you for organizing it, is that we are in this commemoration of this tradition and the recognizing of Latinidad as a power, as 1/3 of New York City. We're really interrogating a narrative that has come from our elected officials, kind of blaming immigrants and criminalizing immigrants, especially Latino immigrants, brown immigrants, instead of recognizing the power that immigrants bring. They make it possible. Especially thinking about the border as a metaphor for linguistic difference, for sexual difference, racial difference. But she also started talking about multiple selves. And I think part of like this recognition, this kind of celebration of how Latino communities have transformed New York is to recognize all these concepts that often we don't give credit where credit is due.
Taking a mode of composition created by the jazz musician Butch Morris, where he would conduct improvisational musicians through various hand gestures and create an on-the-spot composition. So he did this for many years. So I'm applying his principle to voice and text and working with this anthology to kind of like see where the layering of language in a way evokes Latino poetry, but also evokes the city itself.
Ya las gentes murmuran que yo soy tu enemiga, porque dicen que en verso doy al mundo tu yo.
First, human truth, you, honey of partisan hypocrisy, not me. In all my poems I address my heart, bridal, I am a runaway.
I came to know him, living like an H incarcerated in the honey of his bees. Right now,
indoors,
happening.
Build, that would
right in this room.
commandeer, that
You
would
can hear it.
tear down, that
can
would
hear it in the
oppress,
connection
just the
and the
key that
community.
was the
And still New York is my home. My home. My home. My home. My home.
of the north side, and Harlem sails through the slackness of this sluggish afternoon.
In Nicaragua.
In Nicaragua.
In Nicaragua. In Nicaragua. In Nicaragua. In Nicaragua.
My Nicaragua.
In Nicaragua.
For nickel.
In
Bright white
Nicaragua.
nickel.
In
Lots of
Nicaragua.
land of man
In
can
Nicaragua.
A golden
In
mine.
Nicaragua. In Nicaragua. In Nicaragua. In Nicaragua.
And a river
In
crossing.
Nicaragua. In Nicaragua.
A dirty dog.
In Nicaragua.
Descending upon us.